What if I told you that the easiest way for an agent to win your listing is sometimes to tell you exactly what you want to hear? Let's talk about one of the oldest practices in real estate, buying the listing. Hi, I'm John Barzak with Integrity Real Estate. I'm a Maryland realtor and the creator of the Smart Seller program. On this channel, I help Maryland homeowners understand how real estate really works so they can make informed decisions when buying or selling a home. This video is part of my Smart Seller Consumer Advocacy series, where we're pulling back the curtain on common industry practices, incentive structures, and sales techniques that most homeowners never get a chance to see. Today, we're talking about a topic that affects thousands of home sellers every year: how some agents win listings they can't sell. Let's jump in. Imagine you interview 3 agents. The first says your home is worth $450,000. The second says $460,000, and the third says $500,000. Which one gets your attention? For many homeowners, the answer is obvious. The highest number feels the most optimistic, the most exciting, the most profitable, and that's exactly why this tactic works. Most sellers are naturally drawn toward the agent promising the biggest outcome. Within the real estate industry, there is a long recognized practice, commonly referred to as buying the listing. The concept is simple. Instead of recommending the most probable market value, an agent recommends the value most likely to secure the listing agreement. In other words, the goal isn't necessarily to price the home correctly. The goal is to win the client. Now, to be clear, not every high pricing recommendation is dishonest. Markets move, agents disagree. Reasonable professionals can look at the same property and reach different conclusions. The concern arises when the recommended price cannot be reasonably supported by market data. Buying the listing works because it appeals to a homeowner's natural optimism after all. Who doesn't want their home to be worth more? Who doesn't want a bigger check at closing? Who doesn't want to believe their property is special? Sales training programs have long recognized that consumers are more likely to hire someone who validates their expectations than someone who challenges them. The problem is that the market ultimately determines value, not the homeowner, not the agent, not the listing agreement. The buyers do. Many sellers assume we can always come down later. Technically, that's true, but there can be consequences. When a home first hits the market, it enjoys what many agents call the fresh listing window. That's when buyer interest is typically at its highest. That's when buyer agents are paying attention. That's when online alerts are being triggered. If the property launches significantly above market value, buyers may simply ignore it. Weeks pass, showings slow, price reductions begin. Days on market increase, and something interesting happens. Instead of asking, "Why hasn't this sold yet?" buyers begin asking, "What's wrong with it?" In some cases, homes that begin overpriced ultimately sell for less than they might have if they had been positioned correctly from the start. Another variation of this tactic sounds like this. Your neighbor's house sold for $500,000. Maybe it did, but every property is different. Different upgrades, different condition, different lot, different timing, and different competition. Consumers should be cautious when pricing recommendations rely heavily on exceptional sales, best-case scenarios, or unique neighborhood examples. A good pricing strategy should be based on the overall market, not just the highest comparable sale. Instead of asking, "What's the highest price you think we can get?" ask what evidence supports your recommendation, ask what comparable sales support this price, ask what happens if activity is lower than expected, ask how many price reductions do your listings typically require, and perhaps most importantly, what price would you recommend if winning my listing agreement wasn't part of the equation? So what should homeowners remember? First, the highest suggested list price is not automatically the most accurate. Second, the market, not the agent, ultimately determines value. Third, overpricing can reduce showings, increase days on market, and create future pricing challenges. Fourth, a pricing recommendation should be supported by data, not optimism. And finally, the best pricing conversations focus on probabilities, not promises. If you're preparing to sell a home here in Maryland, especially in or around Harford County, head over to johnbarzak.com and request a free copy of my Smart Seller Consumer Advocacy Guide. The guide expands on today's discussion and includes additional questions homeowners can use when interviewing agents and evaluating pricing recommendations. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing and checking out the rest of the Smart Seller Consumer Advocacy series. In the next episode, we're going to discuss something most homeowners have never thought about: why reviewing contracts during a listing appointment may not be the best way to understand them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.